Alright, so I'm dropping into this at this point, and it's actually a little bit further back. This from where I read the last time, and this again is the Davidson book, Partisan picture, right? And these guys are learning how to parachute, and they're going to parachute. They parachute into Yugoslavia and join the. They meet Tito, right? They're like planning in the woods or whatever. I think this is like 43, man. Hell's bells. But anyway, I could read it like this. I could read it like, we learned how parachute jumping at Cabrit above a nice piece of rolling desert alongside the canal. I could read it like that. But I'm not going to. Let's say. We learned our parachute jumping at Cabret above a nice piece of rolling desert along the canal. Nearby was a pleasant sandy mess we shared with people who were learning to destroy tanks. Others will write about the magic of the desert. Yet even Cabret, I don't know how you say that really, Cabret, in those low-lying dunes beside the canal was not entirely without its charm. Oh, it's the romance of the desert. There was a crispness in the early morning air that brought you out of your camp bed into the clear, cool dawn, with the stars still up and the sun only a faint glow beyond the camp wire and the horizon of the great bitter lake. Later on, the morning's misery passed, and the training wimpies tuning their engines for someone else's turn, you could go swimming beyond the lighthouse on one point. Here were the only trees in sight, a few straggling palms, part masking the white walls of the lighthouse. The keeper of the lighthouse was a Frenchman, and his daughters liked to go swimming too. A notice on the quay advised you primly. Officers are warned that exposing themselves in the nude is forbidden. That's what it says. The Great Bitter Lake is warm and dirty and vastly too bitter, and when you swim in it, you quickly rime over powdery white in the sun. We used to swim out and sit on a bollard. What the hell's a bollard? Does anybody know? And watch the ships go by. It was an easy, unproblematical existence, and it was all so very far from the Balkans. They're not in Bosnia yet. Our destination from Europe that we achieved an era of total unreality. They're like in this surreal desert romance land, the twinkling stars, and la 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 la, and the crappy place to swim where you get all this powdery stuff all over you. All right. In Cairo, I used to live in a riverside flat and Gezira. Who didn't? He really did say that. Who didn't? Right? Yeah. We're very familiar with that construct, right? With a splendid view over the palms and waters of the Nile. Oh, yeah, the palms and the waters of the Nile. Feluccas with lateen yards 5 stories high. What the hell is that? A felucca with a felucca with lateen? What? Lateen yards? What? Yeah. 5 stories high, whatever they are. It's like Godzilla. And more would drift downstream. There was the song and hum of traffic coming across Bulak Bridge, up and down the Fuad Al Wall, and across into Zamalek on the road to Giza. And the only hint of Europe was the Nile. Looking here a little like the Danube, as I remembered from before the war, like all great rivers which flow through great cities. Oily and dun-colored, rippling, suggestive of filth, scarcely reflecting daylight. Oh, it's like home. That's what he just said. He really did. There will always be a moon over Marin. Listen to that song by the Dead Kennedys when you get a chance. It's good. Talking about the oily beach. Then the high, but in darkness, how brilliantly it reflected the moon. Right? The oily water, dirty, filthy, suggestive of filth water, really reflected the moon. Isn't that just like the Dead Kennedy song? Moon over Marin? It's exactly like it. All right. Then the high date palms would lean in long shadows out across the river, and the moored houseboats would be like pale ghosts, and water sprinkled with silver, and there would be no noise of traffic, only a far-off murmur of humanity, and the honking of frogs. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. He didn't write ribbit. I just made that up part of myself on the fly, if you know what I mean. All right. So yeah, that's it. And this is I'm going to try to do a serial version, right? If we get a moment, and this is sort of it's like a way of bringing you in on what is this guy's life like. You know, who cares? No, but that's an example. What we just had there. This guy's talking about when they're getting ready to get paratrooped into Bosnia, and I'm wondering what will happen next.